Guys, can you all hear me? Is everything coming in good? Okay. Sebastian, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining us on this discussion about Halloween Kills. And I know I look like shit right now, but I woke up not too long ago because all night. Well, let me take a sip of coffee because it's good for you and the soul. 13 more days till Halloween. Halloween, I know, right? This is going to be a discussion on Halloween Kills, Pleasant Nightmares movie friends. Hello, Crystal. Thank you for joining. Crystal, I saw your post earlier and apparently I don't know if the movie got better for you or not, but you were like a half hour in and you just were not sure about how you felt about it, but you said it was like blasphemy and stuff, and you did not like it, I presume. But hello Sebastian, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining. Yeah, my hair is all crazy and stuff. I need to get a haircut. I'm watching now. I can't even. Okay, well, all right. This is not really a movie review as much as just a movie discussion, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I will let you know if I start talking about spoilers. Hopefully, I don't forget to say that because this is gonna have some spoilers in it. Okay, this is gonna be a strict discussion about Halloween Kills that came out literally a few days ago on Peacock and movie theaters out there. I finally had the chance to watch it last night. I decided to buy Peacock, the monthly service, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. And I'm checking it out on Peacock, and I did know I did not go to the theaters. I wanted to go to the theaters, but I didn't. I felt bad, but I was just getting too impatient to wait any longer. I'm an original cult theorist, so this movie just hurts. I don't even care who is in it. I understand. I understand. I think I understand where people come from when they criticize the movie. How did you watch the movie if it's still in theaters? I just haven't been to the theaters in a long time. Sebastian, I got it on Peacock. Peacock is a streaming service that has released it. But we're gonna talk about the film a little bit. So please, if Sebastian, if you have not watched the movie and you do not want any spoilers, then please don't watch this because there are probably going to be some spoilers in this, and I just don't want to spoil it for you. I don't want to ruin your excitement. There's a lot of things that might blow you away. There might be a lot of things that might piss you off. Who knows? But we're gonna start off with what I really enjoyed about the movie, what I thought actually worked for the movie. I'll have to check it out on Peacock. Absolutely, Sebastian. Absolutely, watch it. Yes, absolutely. Even if you're a little bit sketchy on it right now, watch it. Because to be honest with you, I know Crystal might not agree with me, and that's fine. I'm still waiting for Tommy Doyle to pop up with Jamie Lloyd's baby, but baby, okay. So this whole alternate timeline makes my soul die. Oh, it's because it has nothing to do with the other timelines. Okay, that's why you're not liking it. That makes sense. That makes sense. As someone who actually, for me, I loved Halloween 2018. I loved it. It's my favorite sequel in the franchise, hands down. I loved it that much. I'm actually not a fan of all of the places the franchise went after the first Halloween film back in the day with like the cult of Thorn or something like that. Okay, reconnecting successful. Okay. So hopefully that helped out with the internet. Sorry about that, guys. My internet is just a bitch. So my apologies. My apologies. Andrew Forbes, how you doing, man? I think this horror franchise has the most alternate timelines. It's with its movies, which is saying something. I agree. I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. Friday the 13th has some very crazy ass endings. I will give them that and grant them that. But we'll talk about the ending of this film, obviously, because actually, to be honest with you guys, when I say this, I'm mixed on the movie right now. I really liked what I saw last night. I really did. I started thinking about it though, and I'm like, there might be some things I didn't like about the movie, and it's just hard for me to pinpoint what I didn't like about the movie. I need your guys' help to kind of determine what I would like to give this movie because right now it's at a high rating. It's not like a die-hard high rating, but it's at a high rating for sure. I enjoyed it that much, but I'm so conflicted and mixed on it right now that I'm not sure what to think of it because it's such a different game player. It's such a big difference. It's so different from the last movie. Almost insane. All the movies are fun, but this, with all the OG characters in it, it does have a lot of the OG characters from the original 1978 film. And if you love that 1978 film, there are going to be segments of this movie that I could see you enjoying. Now, Crystal is an OG Halloween fanatic, like me, who loves the 1978 film, so I'm not sure how she felt about certain moments of, let's say, the 1978 flashback stuff. And by the way, guys, if you're just jumping on into this, there are going to be some spoilers in it. It's in the title. There might be some spoilers in this, so if you have not seen the movie, then please, please, please come back and watch this when you guys watch the film, because I do not want to be the bearer of breaking bad news or anything along those lines. Mirror Domains, did you like how it opens with the flashbacks? I thought it would open with him killing the. I thought it was gonna open with him killing the firemen too. Actually, that's exactly what I thought. Mirror Domains, but no, actually, it was it opened up with a flashback, and I was like, oh wow, I did. I actually did. I didn't. I wasn't predicting it. So when it opened up with the flashback stuff, I'm like, oh, this is an interesting way to open this movie. And I actually enjoyed the flashback stuff. I thought it was very cool. I thought the 1978 vibe was all in that shit. And it felt like the 1978 film in a lot of places. Not saying 100%, but it felt like the 1978 film in a lot of places. I really enjoyed that stuff. And then and then after that, it goes into the firemen and that craziness. But yeah, I did like how it opened. It surprised me. The kills are what has me still watching it, but I really almost stopped so many times. It's taken me days to get this far. Oh wow, so you really aren't liking the movie at all. Oh man. I think making this reboot timeline a trilogy hurts this one since the third entry just gives too much plot armor to Michael. I guess Loomis wasn't CG, it was a dude who worked on set and really looked. Dude, that really impressed me. I gotta say, the guy, his voice maybe not was like all there. It didn't really all the way sounded like Dr. Loomis from the first film, but I think he did overall a great job as Loomis. Like, is like, wow, dude, I'm very like, I'm glad they actually got someone who looked like Loomis instead of casting a completely different person. I'm kind of glad they actually got somebody. And yeah, it wasn't CGI. It was just a guy who looked like Loomis, and I was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. I'm really happy to see him in there. That's a highlight of the movie for me, actually. I love seeing a guy who looked like Donald Pleasance in the movie. That was pretty cool. No, see, that's it. Michael would never kill the elderly, children, or firemen. Um, the resemblance was uncanny. It was. It really was. I would never, like, in my opinion, Crystal, and I appreciate your opinion, and don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to criticize your opinion at all. I actually don't, in my opinion, Myers doesn't really have any purpose to what he does. He just kills the kill because he enjoys it. Now, obviously, in the first Halloween 2018 film, he walked away from a baby, but a baby's really not even considerably a threat to him in any sort of means or the imagination, so he would have no reason to really kill a baby. I mean, a dog, for example, is food, and a dog could probably really hurt him or bite him or anything like those lines. So it's more of a threat than like a little baby who's just laying there crying. And plus, he has an idea. It seems like he has an idea of what to kill and what not to kill. But I would never say he would never want to kill an elderly person or a fireman, especially when the firemen were actually picking up their weapons and like trying to walk towards him. Dude, the second Myers walked out of that house, the firemen were picking up their shit and looking at him like, oh, we need to fuck this guy up. It was immediate almost, like, there's something uncanny about this guy. And he just came out of a burning building, and our guys didn't. So what does that tell us? So I think, Myers, he's a slasher. He's a murderer. He has no reasons to do what he does. Even John Carpenter said there is no reason to why he does what he does. He is a force of nature, and that's what he is. He is the boogeyman. But granted, opportunity never presented firemen, but he didn't kill Mrs. Elrod. He didn't kill any unnecessary people. He didn't kill Tommy or the bully. So many chances. You're right. He didn't kill. He didn't even kill the one kid who like tripped. I forget his name already. Lonnie maybe was his name, but he tripped like on the sidewalk, and Michael was walking up to him, and then he just vanished. So he didn't even kill him. But actually, Michael did. You're right. He didn't kill the Elrods, and he didn't kill the Elrods. You're absolutely right. But he did kill the elderly woman in the first Halloween 2018 film, but which I can understand you might have a criticism with that too. Hey, friend, slash that like button. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. Slash that like button, guys. I appreciate that. But I would never say never when it comes to killing, especially with someone like Michael or Jason or Freddy. I would never say never. But because that's what they are. They're murderers. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like like no matter who you are in this world, if you come across a murderer, I mean, and their intentions are legit, or they have these intentions to kill, they're not going to really care who they kill unless they have like a personal relationship with that person. But even then, Michael, he probably wouldn't even care anyways, because he's not even human at this point. And but I actually like that they took risks with the kills. Like I like that he's not just going after specific people. He is actually going after everybody, and he don't give a fuck. There are no, you could be in a wheelchair and it doesn't mean you're going to get away with it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have any restrictions on who he kills, and I actually think that is probably for the best because we don't, for one, in today's society, you don't want anybody to feel left out and stuff. I actually heard that they were trying to like get rid of the firemen killing scene because firemen are a good part of society and stuff, and that they save lives and everything. But it's like in real. But if you put Myers against a group of firemen with axes, chainsaws, all of this equipment and stuff, Myers is probably going to fuck him up. I mean, that's just what I picture happening. So on one hand, I do think that don't apologize. You never have to apologize to me. I apologize. I just feel strongly about this, and Marilyn would never make such a mistake after what she has experienced. I get that. I mean, I get every point you're making, for sure. But he did kill, and he's never really, to my knowledge, he's never killed a kid in the franchise. But you got to understand that this is not involving itself with the franchise anymore that came after with the original sequels. This has nothing to do with those movies. Even Halloween 2 is completely just clean. It's completely gone. All of the sequels have nothing to do with this new series. And I gotta say, this has been my favorite timeline so far. Again, I'm very conflicted on this movie, but there is something about this movie that I really can appreciate and ballsy about it. There's something extremely ballsy about this. To me, this is not on the level of bad like Rob Zombie's Halloween, where Michael Myers talks, right? That pisses me off. When Myers talks, that pisses me off. Myers talks, the way they handle Dr. Loomis becoming a greedy son of a bitch. I mean, there's a lot of things about the Rob Zombie Halloween movies that I'm just completely happy they decided not to do with this new timeline. They are staying away from it. The only thing that is very similar about the Rob Zombie films with this new one is the violence. The violence is on a completely different level. As if Michael cares about firefighters. Oh, people are silly. Why wouldn't he kill children or firefighters? He kills and eats dogs, family pets. It helps to have various opinions for healthy discussion. The Akkad family does that, though, which gave me hope. The Halloween timelines are all over the place. Andrew, thank you for joining us, man. I know you joined us earlier. Thank you for joining us, Francis. I hope you're doing great, man. Just got to go with the one with the least amount of problems with it. I think they really botched certain things in this movie. I will grant you that. I really do. I think there are some things that are introduced into this movie that probably were unnecessary. I think, let me just get my chair down a little bit, but to get more comfortable. I just, there's a lot of things in this movie, because again, I keep repeating myself, I'm conflicted. I don't know what to think of this movie. Because last night, I really liked the movie I saw, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, well, there's that and this and this. There's things that they really, they fixed a lot of things with the 2018 film, which is a positive about this movie, that they really introduced a lot of things in the 2018 film and just completely blew them away, just, all right, well, that was fun. Let's go ahead and move on with something else. And they did that a lot. Like the character of Cameron, they just kind of introduced him to be a dick, and then he was gone, right? So that happened. And then they kind of bring him back in this movie, and he does redeem himself, I would say. There are redeeming moments of Cameron. That scared the fuck out of me. My mask just fell. But there are redeeming moments of Cameron that scared me a little bit. Oh, God, dude. Oh, fuck. I'm talking about Michael Myers, and my mask back there just fell behind me. Scared the fuck out of me for a second. Oh, dude, that clown back there did not help either. I was just thinking about him like, oh, what if he actually got up and started walking towards me or something? Fuck that. Dead Mouse, thank you for joining us. How are you doing, man? But, again, redeeming character moments in the movie. Cameron had some really good moments, and I was like, I didn't like Cameron in the first film. I liked him in this movie. He had some good moments. And then there was Tommy Doyle, who was getting a lot of hate from critics and stuff, saying his acting was bad and everything. He was not delivering the lines like he should have been delivering them. And I gotta say, I actually did not mind Tommy Doyle in this movie. I thought the guy who played him did a decent job. Like, he was passable. He was good. Most of the characters introduced, by the way, I should mention. Top 10, what's up, man? How you doing? What's up, Dead Mouse? Ramon, how you doing, man? What's happening, everybody? What's up, Jay? Did you enjoy watching Halloween Kills? I will say yes. Though I'm conflicted, I will say I did enjoy watching it. It was a good time. I was like so impatient with waiting anymore. My family wanted to watch it with me, and I'm just like, no, I can't wait no more. I gotta watch this thing right now. Anthony Michael Hall is trying rejuvenate his career. Anthony Michael Hall was the guy who played Tommy Doyle, wasn't he? Or I think. Doing good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that, Dead Mouse. Can't wait for Halloween Ends. Me either. Me either. I can't wait to see how they wrap this up. I think aside from the victims he targets, all the victims are just random. I don't think he had it in mind to kill a child, and the firefighters and an old lady just happened. It just happened. He's on the move. He's doing what he wants to, and hey, Loomis warned them. You got to understand. You got to understand, there's one line in the original 1978 film that really sets the tone for this movie. And it's the scene with Sheriff Brackett and Loomis having a conversation in front of the Myers house. And Sheriff Brackett says, you know what's down these streets? Children, families, all lined up. And you're telling me they're lined up for a slaughterhouse. And Loomis looks at him and says, they could be. I mean, that basically tells you that Myers is unpredictable. He can kill whoever he wants. I mean, that's just the reality of it. He's a murderer. He doesn't care. That to me, that's the line that really is the definition. It really sets the tone, and it is exactly what Loomis was talking about. That's why he wanted to shoot Michael, and then when Michael was saved, I mean, it may not have made a difference. He might have lived because there's a lot of things Myers goes through in this movie that really should have killed him, and it doesn't. But Loomis knew for a fact if Myers or the Shape was to live after that night in 1978, everybody in Haddonfield would die. And that's exactly what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. Loomis knew. He knew from day one what this guy was going to do. And I just, that one line really just, it told the future. It blows your mind. And I got to say, seeing Sheriff Brackett in the movie made me smile. I got to say. Crazy how Michael survived this movie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, there's some moments in this movie where Michael really should have died. Like, he really should have died. And this fucking guy. Why would he have any morals? He killed his sister. Again, that's just how I view it. That's how I view it. I can understand why people might view it differently, but I'm just trying to help maybe if you're trying to find answers. I hope that helped in a little sense. Not saying it has to, but oh my god, this movie is killing me. No pun intended, right? Why would she lock herself? Oh yeah. Yeah, and also that made sense, by the way. How Michael escaped the fires. He actually locked himself in the gun safe, right? By the way, guys, yes, this is a spoilers potentially. This is a spoilers video. So if you guys have not seen Halloween Kills and you are just jumping on in and you're not sure, this is a spoiler discussion on Halloween Kills to kind of help me decide what I really think of the movie. Robin, how you doing? That's Robin. Oh wow, haven't seen you in a while. Hello, Jordan. How are you? I'm doing okay. We're talking about Halloween Kills. I'm very excited about that. Michael versus Jason. Who wins? Jason. But that's my biased opinion because I'm such a Jason fanatic. But after seeing this movie, that's tough. After seeing this movie, that is a tough question to answer, man. It really is. Now I really want to do we will do another one where we have a live stream discussing all of the Michaels from each movie and all the Jasons from each movie and comparing them. And after seeing Halloween Kills, it be tougher. Michael versus Freddy. You can't really, just like Jason, Freddy really couldn't kill Jason because Jason was just immortal, a zombie at this point. He couldn't kill him. Even in the dream world, like, he can fuck Jason up, but he can't really kill him. I mean, it's proven. I mean, he could try to drown him, but, that whole thing was bullshit anyways. But that'd be an interesting battle. Is this movie over yet? That's good to hear, Jay. I love the movie. It was really good in my opinion. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm really glad to hear that. I really like the movie a lot, but I'm debating on what I really didn't like about it because there's something about this movie I did not like. I feel like Jason may have more superhuman strength, but it's close. I feel like Jason is a more superhuman being over Myers, I think. But who knows after this movie, really. Freddy would win. He would have 1 year to work on my. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hello, Crystal. Well, were they suggesting that Michael's supernatural? Yes, I think 100%. I think it was just about the time. I think this is exactly what Carpenter was aiming for, is that you just don't know about Myers. And at the end, yeah, it was definitely, that was supernatural as fuck. He did not come in that door. He was just right behind her, and that made no sense. And you saw it. he just appeared right behind her out of nowhere. That is supernatural. I mean, the guy literally got up from literally getting a few bats, planks of wood to the back. I mean, Karen fucking stomped on his neck, right? Karen stomped on his neck and broke his neck, and the fucking guy got back up. I mean, shoved a pitchfork in this guy, too. I mean, there's so many things this guy should have died from, and he just keeps getting up. He's supernatural at this point. Yo, it's Bub on, oh yeah, yes. Yes. Mick, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining us. And a pitchfork in the back. Yep, and a pitchfork in the back, dude. This guy, Batman wins hands down. Batman always wins. That's just common sense, right? Felt out of place for me. I get where what they were going though. I liked it. I liked it. I feel like this is such a, because I've always thought there was no question that the Shape was supernatural. I mean, they really try to emphasize on that a lot in this movie. They try to really make that a forefront in this movie, that Michael is supernatural somehow. And there's something odd about this being, and they really go for it. And I gotta tell you, some of the things in this movie that Myers does is really, really impressive, and it's very scary. I love that line, too. It's like the more he kills, the more he transcends into something that we won't eventually be able to handle. And it's like, oh my god, he's really, evil ends tonight. But does it really? The truth of the matter is evil never ends. It never ends. You got new masks. I did, man. I got a Frankenstein Boris Karloff mask back there. My poor Return of the Living Dead mask fell, unfortunately. Hope he isn't a part of a cult or something. I'm really hoping they're not going to go down that route again. I don't think we need a cult again. We already had a freaky little doctor moment in the first 2018 sequel. We do not need a cult. Yeah, the brutally is there fantastically, but they're so much stupid than they would be. Okay, yeah, the brutality is there fantastically, but these, yeah, the mask is sick. The mask is sick, right? Are you talking about the Frankenstein one I got back there? Thank you. I really love that mask. I got it at the gas station. Actually, here's another gas station thing right here. It's the hat from the gas station from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I put it on this guy. I don't think it's going to stay up there now, but that took a while to get up there. Okay. Some of all the kills made me sad. Yeah, dude, a lot of these kills, and I mean, sometimes in this movie, which it also kind of, has me conflicted a little bit, but I actually appreciate it at the same time, is that a lot of the 1978 characters, which they do emphasize a lot in the trailers and stuff, and they're really hinting at that they're going to be like, oh, return characters and stuff in this movie. And a lot of the characters from the 1978 film are literally brought on screen and killed the next few minutes. Like, they die, like, so easily. And so it's Brackett. Okay, there's a scene in the movie. Again, spoilers, guys, spoilers. Fair warning, mute right now if you are not wanting spoilers, because this is a major spoiler. I love the scene with Brackett at the end, towards the end of the movie. Tommy Doyle and all of them, Karen takes off Myers' mask, runs out of the house, trying to save her daughter, and has the mask with her, and Myers chases her down the street, across a couple of streets, really, and drops the mask in the middle of the road, and Michael walks over to the mask, looks down at it, and headlights turn on, and Michael looks around, and he realizes he is surrounded by the mob, and they are just looking at him like, all right, motherfucker, all right, we're going to settle this right here and now, and I just love that moment. Oh, God, it's so good. Like Seagal in that Kurt Russell movie, yeah. Like the old couple, gay couple, and the old man who jumped. They're even working on a new Texas Chainsaw. I know. They're working on a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Maggie Heed Gaming. It doesn't make sense. This director wasn't going for supernatural in the first film, but now he's going for supernatural. To me, it kind of makes sense. And the only reason why it makes sense. By the way, thank you for joining us, Maggie. I appreciate that, man. The reason why it makes sense to me is because I feel like this director, David Gordon Green, and all the cast, the writers, listened to the fans. The fans wanted something more supernatural with Michael. They really didn't touch upon that with the first one. I mean, there was a supernatural essence about 2018 one, especially how, like, at first people thought he actually, like, just vanished out of the basement, and that's how he was going to get out. But it wasn't. And I think because Michael didn't really kill all that many people in the first one, so there wasn't really, they couldn't really step on, or they really couldn't emphasize or really talk about how more he kills, more he transcends, because he hasn't really killed all that many people yet. But in this one, he's killing a lot of people, and he's becoming more brutal, he's becoming more violent, becoming more quick. It's almost easier for him to kill people. Like, almost every hit that is blown to him gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Like, people are literally hitting him with bats at this point, and he's just looking at him like, is that all you got? Like, seriously, he's becoming more powerful the more he kills, and it's scary. I wonder how it will be better than the others, or so and so. He totally should have killed that girl at the karaoke bar in her car. He totally should have killed that girl at the karaoke bar in her car. Are you talking about the black woman who went into the car and said, "Oh, Michael's in the backseat of my car" and stuff? That actually wasn't Michael. That was the other escaped patient who is in the movie. That wasn't Michael, though. So the other guy wasn't a murderer, but he was being, like, accused of being Michael, which is odd because the guy is, like, doesn't look like him at all body-wise. I think they did a great workup for the next movie. I think they did too, for the most part. I really do. I think there was a lot really here. Yeah, because he was selective with his kills. The truck driver guy supplied his overalls in 1978. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I used to think that way too. I used to have that mindset to where Michael only kills people who are in his way and stuff. But that's the Michael from the original, specifically the original timelines, to where he's not really going after anybody specific. He's going after his family, and then he kills anybody who gets in his way. That's what Michael used to do in the original franchise. He wasn't really going out and killing everybody. But you got to remember that also Michael was going to kill Jamie, and Jamie was a child. Like, she was at least like a 7 or 8 year old. Like, he was going to kill her, and he almost killed her, what was it, that love interest kid that was in part 5. He actually almost killed this kid by hitting him he hit him with, like, he nicked him with his car or something. So, like, he was going to murder kids in that movie. Yeah, it was another dude, and he did kill a kid in this movie. You know, he had the mask of one of the kids that was at the Big John and Little John's house, and he had the skull mask, which one of the kids was wearing. And it was all bloody, so that tells you he murdered that kid. Hope he puts Karen in the bed and places a gravestone on it like that would be cool. That would be cool. I'd appreciate that. The first movie isn't the sequels to that. And the other guy commits suicide to escape the mob. Yeah, that was fucking sad, actually. I really felt bad. Like, that was sad. Did you like Big John and Little John? Yes, I did. I actually liked their characters quite a bit, actually. I thought they were really funny. And I actually was kind of sad when they, died. But really enjoyed those characters. I like that part. I got my knife, Little John. I got my knife, Big John. When idle hand, I know, I need to do an idle hands reaction. I know, man. I know, Mick. I know. I got to get to it. But again, this movie really is just the defining moment of what Loomis was predicting would happen. He knew for a fact that Michael was going to murder everybody in Haddonfield, or he was going to come very damn close, and that is exactly what Loomis predicted. It's Halloweeny. Yes, I'm with Mick. It's Halloweeny. I need to check it out. I really do. But again, I love the moment towards the end with the mob and everything, and how Michael's just standing there looking at them and stuff like, oh fuck. Well, he doesn't really say oh fuck or not in Lena. Well, Michael shouldn't talk anyways, but he's looking around like, oh, oh god. And I love Brackett's line right there. What do you say? He has his gun pointed at him. He's like, hey there, he's like, Michael. Everyone's entitled to one good scare on how it's Halloween. Everybody's entitled to one good scare. And he's just looking at Michael, and then Michael just picks his mask up, and it plays the theme, one of the themes from the 2018 film, and he just puts the mask on, man, and the mob. Tommy Doyle's holding his bat and everything, and they're just ready to beat the shit out of this guy. And they do. They literally beat the shit out of him. And at one point, you actually think that, oh, wow, Michael is literally going to get, like, brutally beaten to a pulp. You know he wasn't going to die, but you know he was going to get beaten to a brutal... And he was. I mean, there was even a moment where he was, like, trying to reach for his knife, like, oh, shit. Which I think might have been an act in some regards. I think that was an act he was putting on. No, why am I watching this? Dang it. Okay, I agree with you. Are you talking about Halloween Kills or my stream? If I'm spoiling anything for you, please mute me, because I don't want to spoil nothing for you. Okay, I agree with you on, but I didn't feel the shape. I saw Michael. The shape is what makes Michael scary, not Michael himself. The thing known as the shape. Are you talking about this movie? Because and it doesn't help that they always refer to him as Michael Myers, right? You almost if Laurie kept referring to him as the shape, I think it would have helped out with that more. I didn't really see Michael Myers in this movie. I mean, I saw specks of Michael Myers, like there might be something there, but at the same time, it's like I don't know what this thing is. Like that's what I got throughout this movie. I don't know what this fucking thing is at this point. Yes, this movie. Did Michael kill again? Oh yeah, yes, yeah, oh yes. Well, kind of. Yes, this movie kills. The movie kills so much. Flames, flames on the side of my face. Just found out yesterday that Jessica Alba and Jessica Biel are the same person. Oh wow, really? But or Cameron. Okay, so you're pretty far into the movie now, aren't you? But oh god, this movie is so interesting. It really is. The first film really focused on the build up scares. It felt more like the 1978 film, in my opinion. Though a lot of people might disagree with me that this film actually feels like the 1978 film more because it actually has a lot of 1978 stuff in it. Hope that Allison gets revenge and Halloween ends. I'm hoping. I really liked Allison in this movie. I'm glad you mentioned her. I liked Allison's character arc in this movie a lot, actually. Yeah, I'm hoping she gets a lot more moments in the next one because the Strode family in this movie are really kind of just sprinkled in there. They're not really in there a lot. I think actually Karen had probably the most screen time out of all of them, but she had a lot of good moments too. I actually really liked Karen in this movie a lot. I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end because some people are watching it right now and I don't want to spoil it, but crazy stuff pursues. But there's a lot of moments in this movie that I really really liked. I really appreciated as a Halloween fan, as someone who likes when things go a little crazy but not too crazy. Gotta go by. Okay, man. Thank you for joining us, Top 10. I appreciate that, dude. By the way, guys, slash that like button if you guys are enjoying the conversation and stuff. And I'm glad you guys are joining me on this conversation and having a discussion about it with me. Because I think there's a lot of things I like about this movie, a lot of things I didn't like about this movie, and a lot of things I feel mixed on. For sure. I mean, there's a lot of things I feel mixed on right now. I'll admit that the dialogue in this movie is not as good as the 2018 film. I think the 2018 film was just written better. But that the dialogue in this movie is very meh here and there. Some lines that Tommy Doyle says is like okay, like maybe could have said that better. But regardless, there's a lot of realistic and a lot of serious things that they dive into in this movie, like the repercussions of building a mob in a town like this where the whole town is now wanting to kill Michael Myers, and then they start hyping it up so much to the point where they're falsely accusing people or a certain person to be what Michael is, and making him do regretful things. The movie is actually more emotional than I thought it was going to be, which is surprising. It was mostly a bloodbath of a movie, but it had a lot of emotional moments in it that I actually felt. Really, really crazy stuff, and they really like to emphasize and hint at that Michael is the town's boogeyman, and it is fucking known throughout this movie. They keep repeating it, saying, oh, you know who used to live in this house? The boogeyman, Michael Myers. You ever hear about what he did to his sister and stuff along those lines? He's pretty much a town urban legend at this point, but he's real, so he's not really an urban legend, but he's treated like such. Really, really some cool Halloween vibes, I would say. And I'm talking about the vibes of the fall season in general. Got Hellraiser on DVD. Hell yeah, Mick. He ran at someone. He fast walking. Did he run? I can't remember if he ran or not, but he does fast walk in the movie. I know that. 1 and 2. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't think I've seen any Hellraiser movies after 1 and 2, but overall, enjoyed them. Yeah, but this movie again, really, really good. I'm going to be doing, obviously, a spoiler review, and I'll be doing a movie review that will be posted on the channel later, but this is just a discussion video to kind of, yes, yay, Sheriff Brackett, I don't care, it has me so mad, my heart is pounding. Yes, yay, Sheriff Brackett, yes. You must be at the certain scene I was just talking about with the mob and everything. Good stuff. I can't, to me, that was a really great moment, and So again, a lot of these characters that are introduced, speaking of bracket, a lot of the 1978 characters who are brought back in this movie they are not in it that long, and they are just fucking. And you should never really expect them to survive just because they were in the original movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things you got to just accept that no one's gonna, when deaths happen, it's not like your Thor and Oakenshield where you have like 5 minutes of like telling people, what you regret in life and everything. Murder's murder, and they get killed fast. I mean, it's brutal as fuck. Liam, Halloween Kills doesn't deserve the hate for some of the corny lines. It's weird how small things can put people off. Exactly, Liam, exactly. And I don't hate the dialogue. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like the best dialogue, but it doesn't like put me off the movie. It's just something I noticed because it's like, oh well, maybe not, I wouldn't have said it like that, but just subbed to you, by the way. I love your Night of the Creeps reaction. They really got us. Oh, they really got to make it. They really do. They really do. And by the way, thank you for subscribing, Magheed. That means a lot, dude. You're a badass. We post as often as we can to keep it retro while we do it, and we enjoy doing it. But as Halloween fans go, as a Halloween fan goes, as someone who is really enjoying this new timeline, who really loved the last film, who really, really loves the 1978 film, I think this is a good continuation. I think it's a very interesting and ballsy move on their part to do things that they do in this movie, which is something I appreciate. I love the ballsy moves. Sometimes they can be a hit or miss. Sometimes they are, but in this movie. But I think overall I wasn't happy with the casting for Tommy Doyle. Yeah, a lot of people wish they just got the original actor to play Tommy Doyle. I don't think the guy did a bad job. I think he did a decent job. He was okay. I don't think he's as bad as most people make him out to be, but, he served his purpose for what he was trying to do, I think. So, I mean, regardless, I do think they should have just got the original actor back since they were already getting everybody else who was in the original movie back. It would have just made sense to get the original actor, but Halloween 2 versus Halloween Kills. You're going to hate me, Liam, for saying this, but I'm going to go with Halloween Kills, and I really am, because I was never a fan of Halloween 2. I think Halloween 2 is just probably one of the most boring in my opinion, don't hate me, one of the most boring in the franchise. I totally appreciate the cheese. There's a lot of cheesy moments, but I do appreciate it. Feel bad for the guy who fell. I did too, man. I was like, that's fucked up. And the way he fucking died and the visual effects in that moment were just phenomenal. But I did not expect it to be that powerful. I was like, I genuinely feel bad for this poor guy. Like, this poor guy, he was so scared and so, he just didn't know what was going on. He's in the first movie, he's at the mental institute, he was one of the guys who escaped with Michael, and it's almost like Michael put him there, almost like let it happen so that he would take the blame and make the town, it's almost like Michael is aware of what he's doing. He's making the town fall apart from the inside, not just the out. And that's some pretty dark and powerful shit that I was not expecting. Michael is literally bringing out the worst in people, making everybody else monsters while he is still the biggest monster around. Halloween 4 underrated. Halloween 2, I agree. I agree with that, Mick. I think Halloween 4 is one of the most underrated in the franchise. Some fans want too much from a slasher. Halloween Kills delivered for me. I think it is absolutely exactly what it promises. It is a slash gore fest, and it does not stop. It is just brutal, horrifying, and crazy. The cheese makes it more nostalgic for me in a way. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Got to run. Have a good day. Have a good one, everyone. Okay, thank you, Francis. And I'm glad you loved the movie, by the way. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a very good time. The original actor who played Doyle isn't an actor anymore, and there's a lot of problems with the guy, according to what I've heard. I've heard some things too, but I mean, overall, I think it would have benefited them if they gave him a shot at least. I don't think they even gave him a shot. I just think they casted someone else completely. Exactly. Later, Francis. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I think it ends on, the ending really kind of just, it needed more. I think the movie needed more. I think if you added on at least another 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, I would have loved it even more, because I think there would have been more to tie up certain things. But again, they did it with the 2018 film. They kind of ended it on one of those notes to where it's like, oh, well, what's going to happen next? Because that's exactly what it makes you think. What's going to happen next? So overall, it was an enjoyable time. The ending really kind of got under my skin a little bit because I wasn't ready for it to end yet, and I really wanted more, but whatever. I'll wait till the next one. And I thought about this in the back of my head earlier. It's like, would I have loved this movie more if I had seen it back in 2020? Would I have loved it more, or 2021, whatever it was supposed to come out? Because I feel like, we were waiting for, we've waited almost like 4 years now for this movie, and it's finally come out, and we finally get to watch it. But by then it was like, oh well, now we get to see what happens, and then it ends on one of those other kind of the same kind of style ending, and now you're like, but I just waited like 4 years for this thing. But and that left a little sour taste in my mouth with this movie. I think it would have benefited if it came out the year it did, but again, COVID came around and it couldn't. So I understand. I'm not criticizing that, but it's an interesting movie, and it's definitely one I always recommend. It's one I definitely recommend people checking out before they decide not to watch it because of all the criticism. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is being like way really harsh on this movie, and I don't think it was actually needed all that necessary hate. I think there's something about this movie that's ballsy that I wish more people understood. But at the same time, I actually understand all the criticisms. I understand all the hate for it because I saw what they potentially were talking about. So yes, the movie's like at 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like almost like fucking 30% underneath the last one. Karen better not return as her death felt right. Sad but right. I agree. I think one of them needed to die in this movie because the last film was supposed to be the final conflict between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. They were hinting at it the whole time, and you never got it. One of them Strode girls needed to die, and if any of them died in this movie, Karen was my number one prediction because I knew she was gonna die. I knew the second, and I love that scene, by the way, where she looks up at the window and sees little Mikey Myers looking out the window. I love that moment, and she goes up there, and then Myers just appears right behind her and kills her. I thought that was a perfect death. I thought that was perfect. I made it. It's finally over. Can I say it has me in tears? Literally, maybe because I'm old school, but wrong. No, 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 no. You don't have to feel bad for not liking the movie. You don't. You don't care. Crystal, you don't. I almost called you Karen because you were talking about Karen. Crystal, you don't have to feel bad about not liking the movie. That is 100% okay. I can understand 100% why it may not work for a lot of Halloween fans. This movie is going to definitely split a lot of Halloween fans. They're not going to be sure what they think of it. I wasn't too sure what I thought of it, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. I'll tell you what, maybe watch it a second time. Give it time. Think about it a little bit. Watch it a second time. See what happens. Maybe you like it more. Maybe you like it less. Who knows? Just give it another shot. I say that because I'm actually sitting here like, I need to watch that again to really get an understanding or a better understanding of what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. Because I watched it, I was paying attention the whole way through, I was very focused on the movie, and there was something about it that was off, but I couldn't tell what it was. Maybe it was the ending. Maybe the ending threw me off, why it ended the way it did. But because I think it could have definitely continued on right after a certain character moment. I something felt like it felt incomplete, and it does feel incomplete. It's like it felt like an incomplete movie, but that's fine because I know there's going to be a sequel that's going to hopefully wrap things up with all that. But I enjoyed the movie overall. I love the violence. I like the atmosphere. I love Michael Myers. Michael Myers, you cannot deny that Michael Myers, James Jude Courtney, at this rate is almost on par with Nick Castle as the best shape. Yeah. I would say that. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. It was a lot of fun talking to you guys about this. Spoiler-wise, I know that a lot of you guys are probably not liking the movie as much as me, which is okay. I know a lot of people love it. Well, I guess I'm not ending it right now because Philip jumped on in. Hello, Philip. How are you doing, man? You made it almost at the last minute, dude. I wasn't going to be on long because I want to do my movie review, but how are you doing, man? We just got done talking about, or we're still talking about it, but we were just talking about Halloween Kills and what we all thought of it. Have you seen it, Philip? Have you seen Halloween Kills? I'm enjoying coffee, by the way. I need my coffee to talk about horror films. You kidding me? But I'm definitely gonna be buying that Blu-ray, that 4K Blu-ray. It's probably gonna look fucking amazing on 4K. Good God. But if you had to ask me, I don't like it as much as the 2018 film. I think it's, I think it's a little bit behind it by a little bit, not like horribly. Like, in my movie review, I'll give you guys a ranking, or not a ranking, but a score for probably the first film, the 2018 film, and this film. My golden chainsaw goes to one of my, goes to the one of the Johns who got his eyes. Oh yeah, dude. Big John, I think was his name. Big John got his eyes gouged. Yeah, that's a brutal death. Actually, my favorite kill in the movie might be Cameron's was fucking brutal, man. Cameron's was brutal. Tommy Doyle's was a pretty good death. I actually really like Sheriff Brackett's death. I thought that was pretty cool. I love how Michael is just laying there and Brackett's walking up with his gun. He's like, I'm about to fucking put you down for killing my daughter, bitch. And Michael just grabs the knife that Karen, thank you, Karen, by giving him the knife practically. She could have kicked that thing away or stabbed him in the head, which would have been even better. They had a complete advantage moment right there where they could have beaten the shit out of him even more, but they all stopped. He's like, go see your daughter, Karen. Go be with your daughter. We got this. We got this. Do you got it, though? Because the second I knew he said that, they weren't going to have it. Michael, did you see the Dawn of the Dead documentary? I have. I've watched that thing 3 times in the past. Love that thing. So many deaths. Oh, yeah, Crystal. There were 70-plus deaths in the movie. And it's just crazy, crazy cool stuff. One of my favorite kills, though, is actually, I would probably go with, I forget her name. But he takes like an LED, like a bulb, and he shoves it in her throat. That was a pretty brutal death, and it didn't, like, it lasted. It was more disgusting than I thought it was going to be. And my dull machete goes to the skeleton who got decapitated for the John who got killed off screen, or Lonnie. Yeah, I mean, yeah, those deaths were very underwhelming because you don't get to see what. I hope to see it soon. Oh, my reaction? I didn't do a reaction to it, Philip. I saw that video a long time ago. I've already seen the video beforehand, so I apologize if you don't get to see a reaction to it. And plus, documentaries are kind of hard to do reactions to because, you might want to post the full thing. What's up, Mid-Level Media? How are you doing, man? Not much, dude. Just talking some decent spoilers of the Halloween Kills movie and what I overall thought of it. Actually, I think I saw your Letterboxd review of the movie, and I absolutely get it. I do, man. No, the movie. Oh, yeah. I hope you get to see it too, dude. Philip. By the way, Philip, this is a spoiler discussion, so if you don't want any spoilers, man, this might be the wrong live stream for you. I know you just jumped on in, but I am talking a bit of spoilers, so. I just finished Halloween 5, which is better than Halloween Kills, by the way. I mean, I don't think I agree with you on that one, but I actually respect it because it's like, it's funny, Mid-Level. I finished the movie last night. I watched it. I watched it last night because I was getting tired of waiting. I'm like, no, I gotta watch Halloween Kills. I'm too big of a Halloween fan. And when I watched it last night, dude, I was content. I didn't know how to feel. I watched it and I was like, I liked what I saw, but there's something off. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like there was something off about it, and I couldn't pinpoint what was off about it. And then I sat there thinking about it, and I'm like, did the ending kind of ruin it a little bit? Like, did the enthusiasm die a little bit? I don't know what it was, but it died. I enjoyed it a lot. I think there was a lot of moments. Actually, I think I want to watch it again because I think the second time watching it, I might enjoy it a little bit more. But after that first time watching it, and I watched it alone because, I wanted to focus on the movie because that's how big of a Halloween fan I am. I just want to focus on a good movie. And I do think it was a decent time. I was like, this is a good popcorn flick. This is a pretty fucking fun time. I think it was even more fun than the 2018 film, which it's more fun, but it's not as well written as the 2018 film. I think the 2018 film is overall a better movie. I like it more than this film. But overall, you give me a movie that was literally the town versus Myers, and this is a pretty damn decent job. I just, there's some moments in it that I can't look away from. I was like, oh, damn, that was cool. Dialogue was so bad. Michael was great, though. Yeah, man. I said that earlier. I was like, some of the dialogue in this movie could have been so much better. I'm actually surprised it was in points as meh as it was, because how well I thought the dialogue was in the last one. And, sometimes it was like hit or miss, but like it wasn't as noticeable as it was in this movie, which was odd because, you got some pretty talented writers behind you. So I don't know why it felt meh at points. But that's a good point. Yeah, some of the dialogue was just not really hitting. It wasn't hitting. One of the things I do appreciate about this movie, though, that I have not mentioned was that they kind of toned back on the comedy aspect of it. It's not really as funny as the 2018 one was. And not saying the 2018 one hit on all levels with the comedy, but most of the time it didn't. And like the dad, I thought was kind of annoying, like peanut butter penis and stuff. It was like, get out of here. Get out of here. That's what, something I really did not miss with this one. And I'm glad they stepped away from that at least. Would Michael really just keep putting knives into someone? He always was one and done kill. Maybe because they were suggesting he liked it. I think he likes it, man. I mean, this is also a guy or a being, an entity who loves to use humans as decorations. I think he was literally sticking knives in that guy's back, like, oh, I wonder what they would think if I started sticking knives in this guy. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, what a fucking horrifying dude! Like that death, like he got punctured with like 10 knives. I think it was something that he was just trying to make look more horrifying. He's literally treating human beings like they are decorations. Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make this decoration. I want more knives in his back. You know, I think that would look really, really creepy. That's how I viewed it. I didn't view it. I think he was literally, we were just getting a little bit of a, like for example, the what was her name? Christy, something like that. Oh God, the blonde babysitter from the 2018 film who gets like set next to a fish tank with a pumpkin on her head, or like how Michael carved a guy's face into a jack-o'-lantern and put it in a police car. Like I just feel like we got to see a little bit into behind of what he likes to do behind the scenes. I thought it was dumb that we kept having flashbacks to the fat creeper friend in the group, but none of Vicky. Vicky, oh my, yeah, Vicky's her name. Thank you for saying that. I mean, she was also in the group. Yeah, we got a lot of Oscar. You know, it was one of the interesting things. I'm glad you mentioned that, Sky, and thank you for joining us, Sky. I'm glad you mentioned that. We got Oscar's mom who came into the movie out of nowhere whatsoever. Have you seen my son? Oscar. His name's Oscar, and I haven't seen him. And then we see a quick glimpse of him in the morgue or the hospital, and his jaw's all fucked up, and his mom is screaming because her son's dead. But I don't know why they did that. You know what I mean? Like, where they just to me, that was almost like you didn't really need that. Oscar died, we knew that, but like we didn't need his mom kind of reacting to it unless she comes back in the next one with like a vengeance and tries to go after her. I felt bad for her too. Obviously, it's she lost her son. I get it, but Oscar wasn't really a kid in the first movie that was really a character. He was just there to die, in my opinion. Having to see that, I agree. That would be fucked up to see. Yeah, and so many people were dying that they even couldn't answer. They couldn't even answer her question because there were so many people getting murdered that she was like, "Where's my son and stuff? Have you seen him and stuff? Is he? I'm looking for him and stuff." And it's like. As being from 30 miles from Bowling Green, Kentucky, home of John Carpenter, I wonder how he would feel about all the sequels. Actually, John Carpenter is involved with all these sequels. I think he enjoys them. I mean, it would be interesting to hear his personal opinion. He produced the last one, 2018, and this one. And done the score. I don't think he was a fan of all the other sequels. I think he was like, they're doing way too much and stuff, and they're all convoluted now. But this is a fun conversation to have. I think it makes you talk, which is I think something I appreciate about this movie is that it's a conversation starter. You're like, was that what was that about and stuff. Carpenter is dead. No, I'm pretty sure John Carpenter is alive still. I think he's alive. Wes Craven passed away, but I think John Carpenter is alive. Snowhawk, how you doing, man? What's up, dude? I'm just talking about Halloween Kills. How are you doing, man? I assume he enjoys the various places the franchise is going. I think he enjoys it too. I think he likes how different it is and how out there it's getting. They should have dismembered him in the end. I agree. I was like sitting there. I'm like, Tommy, why are you still sitting there looking at? Why are you still sitting there looking at him? Why aren't you bashing his brains in with that bat right now? And they just stood there. They just stood there. Go to your daughter, Karen. We got this. But as soon as he said that, I knew they didn't have it. Craven has passed. Romero gone. Yep, Romero and Wes Craven are both passed away, unfortunately. Wes Craven's death surprised me. I did not expect that. Doing great. Seeing you was live, decided to drop by and say, I'm glad you decided to drop by and say hi, man. I haven't seen you on a live stream in a little while. I haven't done a live stream in a while, so I wanted to come on here and do one for sure. Oops, my bad, wrong director. Oh, dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I kind of had a feeling you probably just named the wrong director. But yeah, Carpenter's still alive. He's producing movies right now. He's not directing. John Carpenter drink, Formaldehyde. Haven't you seen? I have, dude. Body Bags is great. Great anthology. Love that one. But I would love to see, oddly enough, I would love to see John Carpenter come back to direct one more film. I think Like, if they came out and announced that John Carpenter was going to direct Halloween Ends, I would be losing my mind. Losing my mind. I think that would be one of the best ways to end the franchise, especially, this timeline would be get John Carpenter to come back to direct the final movie, let him have his shot, let him do it, let him finish it how he wants to finish it. I'm going to dip out. Haven't seen Halloween Kills yet, so before any spoilers, great to see you on. Okay, Snowhawk, yes, thank you for joining on. I'm glad you made it, dude. You're badass. I'm sorry that we are talking about spoilers right now. I will be going live this Friday, though, to do a Friday Fright Night, so I'll see you then at least. Cut him in 20 pieces and dip him in concrete. If he comes back, he's actually like a demon. I think there's something already demonic about Myers, actually. I think he's just something out of this world. He is not human anymore. He has transcended into something that we cannot handle anymore. But overall, enjoyed the movie. It's not a bad movie in any means, sort of the stretch of the imagination. I think you can have a lot of fun with it, even just going in there for the carnage. It is a gory carnage time. It is one of the most goriest and the most bloodiest fucking films you will see in a while. And I think if you like that, you will be really having fun. Let's ship him to Mars. Yes, yes. Let's ship him to Mars. Yes. It's and they do that a lot though. Going back to like Oscar's mom, they really introduced a lot of characters who just were introduced just to kind of do what characters did in the last one, kind of like Cameron, where it's like we introduced this guy to be a boyfriend and then he's just dropped right there. Obviously, he has more of a screen time in this one, which I appreciate because I was like, one of my biggest criticisms was like, for the last one was like, what the fuck was all about Cameron? Why didn't he die? He was a dick. And they really redeemed him in this movie, which I appreciate a lot. So, a lot of redeeming stuff in this movie. Michael in Space hasn't been done. Laugh my ass off. It has not been done. But I don't know if I want to see. I mean, if we start a new timeline, at least like 20 years down the road, maybe then. But like, I feel like that'd be out of place for this timeline. Or we can stop with the timelines in general and just make this the official timeline. Which is kind of how I've done it. I mean, I enjoy the other Halloween films, but like I've never loved all the other Halloween films. I enjoyed Halloween 4, Halloween 6. Really enjoyed Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, even though that wasn't even meant to be a part of the Michael Myers franchise. So, or well, it was, but they canceled it because no one wanted to see that. Leprechaun went to space. That's right. Well, I mean, Leprechaun is more of a silly kind of thing anyways. Leprechaun. I mean, imagine a leprechaun. Plot twist. That's the premise of how... Plot twist. That's the premise of... yeah. Oscar's mom might come back for Ends to start a petition to allow the execution of Myers. That would be dope. That would be dope, Liam. That would be really cool, actually. I mean, even though the whole town kind of agrees that we need to kill this guy right now. I usually end up watching 4 and 5 every Halloween. I think those are a fun time. I really enjoy Halloween 4 and 5. I mean, 5 has a lot of really ridiculous moments in it, but, you can... at least this movie kind of stayed consistent with the seriousness of the tone and what the situation was. Let's not send Michael to space. Look what it did for Jason. I mean, that movie's more of a guilty pleasure movie than anything. Jason X. I mean, it's a bad movie, but it's a lot of fun for what it is. It's ridiculous, but hey. Adam Fink, hello, Adam. How are you doing, man? Thank you for joining us. How is your day going, dude? Let me take a sip of coffee. Michael is property of the state, after all. Petition could be... That is true. That is true. You totally made me remember that, yeah. Tim Curry, Men in Black 3. Wow, I forgot they actually mentioned that. Yeah, he's property of the state. That means you can't touch him. But it's like, watch us. They didn't care in this movie. They beat the shit out of that fucking guy. Doing good, just relaxing after work. Hell yeah, man. That's good. I'm glad you are back home and you're relaxing. I hope you have your feet up on the recliner. Have you seen Halloween Kills, by the way, buddy? We're talking spoilers about Halloween Kills right now. Kind of debating whether I liked it, loved it, or hated it. And I'm on the mixed bag right now. I'm between really liking it and kind of loving it kind of thing. The mob was so ineffective. I would say there are certain points of... I mean, to me that was pretty damn realistic. Once you start getting people like really pumped up and excited about something, especially like going after somebody who's murdering kids and stuff and people around the neighborhood, and they start like, then we got Tommy Doyle who comes in and starts saying, Michael is right there, and it's actually not Michael, and they chase this poor fucking individual up the stairs and stuff, and to make him commit suicide because he thought he was going to be ripped apart by these people, and he was about to get killed by them anyway, so, because they were so fucking mad and angry, and then they realize, oh, he wasn't Michael. So I mean, there's a lot of craziness involved when chaos pursues, and no one can really stop the chaos. Crystal is feeling crushed by Halloween Kills. I know, Crystal. I'm sorry about that. I really am. It's a good job the mob was killed because they might have gotten arrested for attempting to harm Michael. That is true. They could have. I mean, even knowing at that point, I'm not sure how you can arrest almost a whole town of people wanting to kill this guy. But, I mean, it was realistic, but they were just, like, blind raging and not really... Well, yeah. I mean, I really... To me, that's realistic. Because in real life, if a situation like this broke out in your town, who knows what would happen? Like, he's killing kids. People are going to be in a blind rage to kill this guy. They're not going to be... They're like, this guy's a child murderer. He's a fucking killer of old people. He's a monster. He's plagued this town for years. He dies tonight. And that's exactly what they were going for. He is going to die by our hands right now. This is our problem. We're going to solve it. And they really became the monsters. They became monsters themselves because they pushed a guy to kill himself, which was, I was like, wow. I mean, that's insane stuff. And that was a very powerful scene, by the way. And then I love how Tommy literally looks at Karen and says, I fucked up. I don't know any other way to say it. I fucked up. This was my fault. And he took blame for that. And I'm like, that was your fault. You got everybody so pumped up. And then Sheriff Brackett got everybody pumped up. Love that scene, by the way. He's like, that bastard killed my daughter and stuff, and I'm not going to let you guys, the police. He was talking back to his own boss at this point. And he's like, we're taking actions into our own hands. Fuck you guys. Mob mentality is a real thing, but still a crime. Absolutely. Dude, the fucking sheriff of that town was so destroyed that, dude, no one cared about his opinion. The second he started saying, let the law handle this, they were like, fuck you. And he was getting pushed to the side, like, literally and physically. The mob was very reminiscent of the old Universal monster movies. Exactly. There's a lot of, like, the classic Frankenstein vibes. This guy is literally brutal, more brutal than Frankenstein. He's not misunderstood, though. He's actually like a fucking beast and monster. He needs to die. And they had moments to kill him. Or, well, hopefully kill him. I don't know, because there's a lot of moments where he should have fucking died, and he did not. So, I don't even know if decapitating him would make a difference at this point. I mean, that would be insane. You see him, like, headless, and he's still walking. Oh, my God. That'd be insane. That'd be maybe too much, though, but still insane. So many great moments, so many odd moments, so many meh moments, but overall, I mean, murder is illegal, but like the cops didn't help either. We were at a steep and you can't really stop a mob. I mean, at this point, when everybody has already been afraid of this guy for years and years and years, they're getting tired of it. They're like, fuck you guys, we're handling this ourselves because you have failed us on so many occasions. You have failed to save so many lives. We're going to put an end to this right now, and we are going to take matters into our own hands. And you gotta understand that in Halloween 4, they did the exact same thing. And they did the exact same thing. They went on a mob. They ignored the police. They were like, we're going to take matters in our own hands. And there was even a moment where they accidentally shoot somebody else because they thought he was Myers. Or a cat or whatever they shot. Sheriff Brackett, Baker was terrible at handling the situation. Also, ends could invoke the thoughts of ethics and morality in Haddonfield. Michael has disappeared and the town is practically dead. Yeah. It's dead in more than just one, places in that, town. I mean... what could he have done? What could that man have done? He was literally being pushed in front of a crowd of probably 50 plus or 60 plus people. And he can't open fire on them because they're not listening. What else could he have done in that situation? There was not much he could have done. He couldn't have tased them. There's too many people and they're too mad to even consider stopping. And that is their, God-given right to actually say what they feel. So there wasn't really much he could have done in that situation. You almost felt for him because he was literally screaming at one point. He was like, I'm trying. No, it was a person in part 4. I thought it was Adam. I thought it was. Yeah, it was a person in part 4 who was shot. And in this one, it was just a guy, a mental patient at that, who was just driven into fear to where he thought killing himself would be the best option. Dude, I felt so bad. It was so sad to watch that guy die. You didn't think of him at first as much in the first film, but then you see this poor individual. I mean, the scene where Karen grabs his hand and tries to hide him and stuff. It was just like, fuck you guys. And I do like the fact that they admitted that they were the monsters in that moment. We literally drove a man to kill himself because of fear. And that's what Michael's doing to everybody else here. You know, he's driving people into fear. And Michael is the essence of fear in this movie. Baker better have a role and end. Oh, I'm sure he'll have a bigger arc, because actually people were really curious to see what he would do in this movie, and he really didn't do much. It's definitely a continuation of the last film. Like, watch the last film. It goes beautifully into this movie. The mob was out to save the town and kill Michael, but ended up killing their own. Yep. It made them monsters, and it's not only Michael, but Michael is, don't get me wrong, the head honcho of the monsters in this movie, but he has driven people into insanity, and he has driven people mad, and that is why he needs to go. He needs to go. He's not going to go, because Michael is the head honcho, as I put him. He is the head honcho. He is not going to die. He is in charge. When you think you're in charge, you're really not, because Michael's around. He's in charge. The Shape is around. And another death that really didn't surprise me all that much was, of course, spoilers. Spoilers, guys. Don't want to spoil this for you if you have not seen the movie. So please mute, because I'm about to drop it. If you can hear me, mute it. If you have not seen the movie. Tommy Doyle's death. Actually liked it. I actually liked Tommy Doyle's death. I thought the look of fear in his eyes when he knew he was about to die was just, wow. He knew how, dude, the scene at the end, and I think the scene at the end is really going to really make a lot of people happy, because it really is a cool moment. And it is reminiscent of the Halloween 6 scene where Michael kills all the doctors. And this one, he kills this whole little mob like nothing. At first, he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And if you're a Myers fan, you're like, oh, well, fuck. He's getting his ass kicked and stuff. He's going to die. And then Myers, for 1 second, pulls a knife out of his back that Karen stabbed him with, pulled it out of his back, turned before Sheriff Brackett was about to literally put a bullet in his head, and slit his throat. And it was like, oh my God, you all fucked up. You should have killed him when he was on the ground and was completely... He slit Brackett's throat, and then he started breaking people's hands, stabbing people to death. He started brutally murdering all these mob people, and the way it's shot was very neat, by the way. I really do like the way it was shot. And then Tommy Doyle, you know, the look in his eyes when he realized this man was not going to die. You knew in his eyes, you knew for a fact that this man was thinking, this guy is not human. He will not die. He knew. And the only thing he could do in that moment was to swing his bat, hoping that he could at least attempt to try to beat him, but he knew he wasn't going to. And the second Myers grabbed it, like, I think he might have put his arm up, but he stabbed him in the heart, pulled the knife out, and then bashed his face in with the bat. I mean, it was just wow. Wow. What a great moment. That moment was really good. I mean, I wish they didn't cut away from it so much. Another criticism of mine is that when gruesome, brutal things are happening, they like to cut away from that scene to another scene and kind of have them playing simultaneously, which I don't really like, because I'm kind of wanting to see the brutality of that moment. It's a mixed reaction of the mob deaths for some reason. I loved it. Don't mess with the boogeyman. Some of literally was going so far as saying Michael is John freaking... Dude, he's fucking... This guy, Michael, dude, they did Michael right. I will say that above everything else in this movie, The Shape, Michael Myers was done awesomely by James Jude Courtney. Dude, he is terrifying. He hides in the shadows. He is scary. I mean, this guy is brutal as fuck, and it is awesome. Every time he's on screen, you're just like, all right, what's going to happen next? Because, like, he's about to go nuts on these people. And he did. That ending scene was really good. And then, of course, you know, the movie ending with Karen getting stabbed. She's looking out the window where she saw little Michael Myers looking out the window when he was being probably arrested for the first time. Standing there, looking down, and Michael just appears right behind her, supernaturally appears behind her and stabs her to death. And then you can look on Jamie Lee Curtis's face as she's just looking out at the hospital window, and she just knows. A mother's intuition knows that something is wrong. Welcome back, Top 10. I'm glad you made it, dude. Glad you made it back. But guys, if you're just jumping on in here and haven't liked the hit the like button, slash that like button and slay it with awesomeness and appreciate the conversation we've been having. Didn't come out right, but appreciate the conversation we've been having. I think it's been fun. But the movie ends on such a note to where you're not really sure where they're going to go with the next one. I mean, you know where they're going to go. Jamie Lee Curtis is going to come after Michael. And one of the scenes, I love this moment. I mean, I'm going to say it like that again. Love this moment, right? Love the moment where, if you guys didn't know, Hawkins lived from the last one. Cameron found him and called the police, and an ambulance came, saved his life. So he lived, and there's a nice moment between Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, and Hawkins, and apparently they used to have a crush on each other. And it's like, wow, that would have been a pretty good couple. Is this your favorite Michael? It's on par, man. It's on par. It's like right there. I mean, it used to be like this is Nick Castle, because I love Nick Castle's portrayal of Myers so much. And James Jude Courtney was right here. Now it's like right there. It's practically a point away from, after the next movie, he's probably going to be above Nick Castle for me. But he's awesome. He's phenomenal in this movie. A+. But there's a moment in the hospital where Laurie Strode is literally like, he's after me. He's going to come for me. Don't you understand this? And Hawkins looks at her and says, it's not about you, Laurie. It's not about you. He doesn't have no reason to do what he does. And that was something that I think they listened to the fans about. Because in the original one, there was always... the criticism with the original one was like, we got away from this whole Laurie Strode versus Michael thing. Like, Michael was coming after her and stuff. They're not even related, so why is he going after her? And then they decided to say, in this one, that it is not about you, Laurie. Michael kills to kill. It was the doctor who brought him to you, not the shape coming to you himself. Karen is Hawkins' daughter. I would not be surprised. That would make complete sense to me. I wouldn't want to be stuck in a dark room with James Jude Courtney's. No, hell no. Do you think that she was really stabbed, or do you think that it was Laurie picturing her getting stabbed because it coincides with her saying something about you can't just close your eyes? I think she really got stabbed. I think they ended it on I think they ended it there on that note because they really wanted to murder one of the Strodes. And I think Karen was probably the first runner-up to get killed. And I think that's what the movie needed. It needed one of the main characters to die to show that Michael is not playing around. These people are people too, and they will die. So I think that was very important to show her dying. And apparently there is another ending, and apparently it's a canon ending, so it's probably going to be in the beginning of the next film where Laurie Strode says, I'm coming for you, Michael. And it's actually a scene in the trailer. Apparently, this is not really a spoiler because David Gordon Green actually said that this was going to be in the movie, or hopefully something like this in the movie. But apparently there's going to be another ending where Laurie Strode picks up the knife because she feels like something's wrong. Or no, what happens is that Karen got a phone call from Laurie because Laurie felt something was wrong. So she was going to answer when she calls Karen's phone, she doesn't answer. Karen doesn't answer. But Michael, you can hear the breathing on the other side. Kind of like the first Halloween film where she's talking to, I can't remember her name on the top of my head, but she's talking to one of her friends. And you hear the breathing over the phone. Is going to be reminiscent of that. And then Laurie was going to say, I'm going to kill you. And she picks up the knife that Allison left and walks out of the hospital. Hey, JCARTS, sorry I haven't been here, but I recently watched Halloween Kills and loved it. All Turks... Yes, I'm glad you loved it, man. I really liked it myself. Thank you for jumping on in, All Turks. That means a lot, dude. I'm glad you loved it. We're having actually a spoiler conversation about it right now. It was sad that she died, but she definitely should stay dead. If they retcon it, it will be disappointing. I agree. It's not a Marvel film. We don't need to bring people back who should be dead. You know what I mean? I think her death really is going to amp up a lot of the charisma to kill Michael. It's going to make the Strode girls even more crazy to kill this guy. So I think it's very important that they keep that death in there. And I also think it needed to happen because, yeah, this guy is he's a murderer. You shouldn't just, kick the shit out of him and then expect to walk away, especially when the guy can't even die. Oh, I didn't say for the credits. Was there a post-credit scene? No. This is apparently David Gordon Green came out with a statement saying that there's going to be another ending to Halloween Kills that apparently is canon. So it's a scene that was actually in the trailer. that they didn't put in the movie for some reason. It was the scene where Laurie Strode's walking out of the hospital holding that bloody knife and saying, "I'm coming for you, Michael." But again, I guess that's actually supposed to be, it was supposed to be in the final cut of the movie, but it wasn't. But apparently it was supposed to be in the movie. Yeah, I heard about that. A 4-year time jump. I know, I heard about that. I'm wondering what they're going to do in that time. Like, is Michael going to just leave? Well, since Halloween night's over, maybe he leaves and comes back 4 years later. Who knows? Maybe he recovers. I just got to school. I'm in the 6th grade and told my teacher, she said that she watched it and she liked it when Mikey kicked the door open, the one girl, and made her pop herself. Oh, yeah, that was a good moment, too. Yeah, where he kicked the door and the girl just shot herself. That was a good moment. Her death was totally motivational, fuel Laurie's hate, and ignite the granddaughter's drive. Oh, yeah, it's going to amp up things quite a bit, I would presume. So hopefully that really pays off, and they tell it in a nice way. I wish the nurse survived. I have a soft spot for elderlies. Yeah. Yeah. Loomis's nurse. I love that scene though where she's like, "This is for Dr. Loomis." And then I love how Michael just slowly climbs into the car and just stabs her. He's just like, "Oh, yeah, is that right?" She should have just let the people out. She did not let those people out because she was scared. She wanted to lock the doors. That's an actual, probably realistic reaction. I would have let them out and been like, "All right, fuck it, run. I'm old, so I'm going to stay in the car." Hope he kills more than ends. Oh, dude, he killed a lot in this movie. There's like 70 plus kills. But yeah, I hope he kills more than ends too. I heard actually ends is going to be a slow burn type of movie. Apparently that's what David Gordon Green is aiming for. More of a slow burn type of Halloween movie, not really a brutal massacre movie like this one was. I think this was showing Myers at his most horrifying, his most brutal. He doesn't care who he kills. He's just going to kill to make a stamp on this night. And he does. He does. A slow burn, more of a, how do I say it? More of a slow burn kind of means more of a drama. Not really as much as a straight up slash gore fest. A drama, a movie that has a lot of talking, things like that, that just make a movie more of a slow burn. So it's more story elevated than it is more of just carnage. More character piece study. You know what I mean? Did you think Lindsay looked a little too messed up for just hiding in a tree trunk, or did they cut a scene out? Very interesting point to point out, Liam. I actually was sitting there thinking, like, she looks like she got the fucking shit knocked out of her. Why is she doing, like, she was just hiding. I have no idea. Maybe a scene got cut. That would make sense. Maybe she got, like, smacked or something, or, like, cut in the face. Who knows? But, yeah, she looked a little bit more dinged up than I thought. Thanks. I have to get some sleep. Haven't got any, oh, yeah, no, get some sleep, man. Get some sleep. Absolutely. Slow burn means to take its time to get to the action. Yeah, it takes its time to tell a story. But, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you guys about Halloween Kills. I'm going to be doing a movie review and posting a movie review, a separate video. Did you like the nods to Halloween? Yes. I did. I loved the Halloween 3 references. I think that's fantastic. It's one of my favorite aspects of the movie, actually. I was like, yay, some love for Halloween 3 because I'm a big Halloween 3 fan. I don't care what anybody says. I like Halloween 3 a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here, guys. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it, of course. And thank you for the likes, by the way. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. I will be posting a movie review, a separate movie review for this movie on the channel. So after this was a spoiler discussion, talking to you guys, trying to get a better idea of how I felt about the movie. And I think I kind of have a better idea of how I feel about this movie. And I do appreciate it because you guys helped me. Mackett, I agree that if the shape just in the description of Michael's evil intent, then the next film can't have any connection to Jamie Lee character at all. The end of the film. Yeah, I agree. What I'm hoping is that he transcends into something more outside of Haddonfield. He starts going to other places, starts becoming a real scary entity outside of Haddonfield, and I really hope they go and deliver on that lore, because, you know, Halloween Ends could mean a lot of things. Halloween Ends could mean that this ends in Haddonfield. The Strode family ends tonight. It could mean that, and maybe the next one could be called Halloween Begins. Oh, wouldn't that be kind of a neat title? Halloween Begins. So like Halloween October 31st in another city, like in a city or something. You could do shit like that and make it very, very scary and interesting. Who knows? Who knows what they could do? But I think this is where the Strode timeline should end. I think the Strode should die. The town of Haddonfield should be done. Now Michael has transcended into something more globally terrifying. Like he's just more of a global threat now, and he can go around and kill people. He's more like, wouldn't it be crazy if they actually like called him a terrorist or something because he like starts killing people more often in different parts of the country? Who knows? Who knows where they could go with this? Like this could be the beginning of something bigger. Doesn't mean it needs to be bigger, but it could be something bigger. I mean, he is supernatural in a lot of senses, so. Thoughts on people that think new good, old bad. New good, old bad. New good, old bad. My thoughts on that. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, of course, but I've tended to really appreciate. I know there's a lot of people who actually love the newer stuff than hate the older stuff, which is fine. I mean, I know a movie reviewer named John Campia on YouTube actually said he loved the Halloween 2018 film a lot better than the original 1978 film, and that's okay. I think they're both well-written films, to be honest with you. Yeah, as I said, the only thing I can really say about that is just everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't judge people's opinions. If you think the movie is bad, then that is 100% okay. I can actually see why you might think it's bad, or why you think it's bad, or if it is bad. But to me, I thought it was a solid Halloween movie. I thought it had some really cool kills, really great Michael Myers moments, which is what you go to see. You know, you knew from what the movie was promising you, you got that movie. This is the town versus Michael. There's insanity that pursues in this movie. There's actually a lot more in this movie that I didn't think we were going to get that we got. So I appreciate it on those levels. New was good as a horror movie overall, but I'm purist. New was good as a horror movie. Oh, is there? Oh, thoughts on people that think New. I'm so confused on that. Am I being stupid right now? I need more coffee. New was good as a horror movie overall. Oh, okay. No, I get what you're saying now. God, I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Oh, God. Hit that like button for my stupidity. Hit that like button for my stupidity, please. New was good. Yeah, the new one was good. But yeah, being a purist of the original, I can see Michael versus Haddonfield, and it really was. This movie is Michael Myers versus Haddonfield. I think they could have gone even farther and made done more kills. But hey, I'm okay with what we got. It was like, yeah. And also, by the way, cool ass end credit song by Ghost. Actually, I was like, yes, they actually put it in the movie. I watched through the end credits so I could hear if they actually played that song, and they did. Of course, you got to have that original Halloween theme though as the like official end credit song. Because if you didn't have that, then the purists would have been like, oh, "What the fuck?" Smash, slash, and slay that like button, friends and foes. Yes, thank you so much. 19 likes, guys. Well, I'm gonna applaud you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Abracious, how have you? I haven't seen it yet. Oh, well then, I'm sorry. I think we're done talking about the spoilers. We've been talking about spoilers for about an hour and a half now. But don't worry. I think we're done talking about spoilers. Please don't look at the comments. You might see some spoilers. But I did talk about spoilers, so please be wary of that. This is a spoiler discussion, but I'm glad you actually jumped on in, Abracious. Thank you for jumping on in, man. And there's also a lot of criticisms with this film, and this isn't really a spoiler, that, these films, these newer ones, are trying to do what the old ones done. Like, what these new films are trying to do is clean slate the entire franchise and do better than what the previous films do, but they're also copying a lot of what the other films did. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So it's kind of a hypocritical thing to say when you're kind of copying, the other movies, and just doing them a bit better. I mean, you could come up with your own shit, which is this is just a criticism that people have. I don't really find it to be a big problem, but like, this is actual criticism people have with these new movies. I've heard it was bad. there's a lot of people who think it's a bad movie, but I actually really liked it. I think, there's a lot of Crystal in the comments did not like the movie at all. I think she hates it. We have Michael, Ghostface, Chucky, and Pinhead back. Oh, I did love that new dude. My first episode of the Chucky show is on the channel right now. I did a review of it. So if you guys want to go check that out, please go check it out. Hit the like button on that thing and support that. But and also, if you guys are enjoying the Texas trip video, hit that like button on that video and show it a lot of support, because we will let patrons and members of the channel decide where we go next in the future, if we ever go next in the future. But we want that video to do good first. And by the way, the Chucky video is a spoiler discussion too. So if you have not seen episode 1 of the Chucky show, then do not watch that. We have Michael, Ghostface. Yes, I can't wait for the new Scream film too. Agreed. It's seriously time for Freddy. It is seriously time for Freddy. We need something with Freddy to come back. I don't care if it's well, I want it to be a movie more than anything, but sometimes we don't get what we want. But I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was that bad either. I think it was actually a pretty solid Halloween film, in my opinion. My personal opinion. I think it dives into the lore of Michael Myers, what he possibly could be, better and more sufficient than the last one did. It's more on a supernatural side than the last one. Love the first episode. Me too, Screenlight. Me too. Great shit. Can't wait for episode 2, actually. I think there's 10 episodes tops. Can't remember. 10 or 11. But anyways, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. We've been on for an hour and 30 minutes discussing Halloween Kills. If you guys like the movie, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Give me very juicy details on what you loved about it and what you hated about it. I really can't wait. I've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes. I need to wake up more. But and I'll be posting a separate movie review for the movie on the channel later. So can't wait to do that. Thank you guys for jumping on in. I know a lot of people are just jumping on in right now. Thank you for liking the like button. It really means a lot. Liking the video, it means a lot. Your support does not go unnoticed. It's not bad. It's just not hitting me the same as everyone else. As a horror movie, it was great. Music, wonderful. But I'm simply not sucking the legend of its I get it. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to be sorry or anything. I absolutely understand why people might not like this movie. But until next time, movie friends, keep it retro. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. And if you're new to the channel, we post as often as we can, and we keep it retro while we do it, and we enjoy doing it. So, take care, guys. Take care.